You know, when I think of the actress Lynn Thigpen, I just think about her playing that mean old lady named Mrs. Barrett, who was trying to get Joe Clark fired and locked up in the jail in the classic movie Lean on Me, man. That's my movie right there. Lean on Me. Mrs. Barrett, that mean old lady trying to get Joe Clark locked up. But let me tell you, Lynn Thigpen was a very underrated actress. Check this out. Lynn Thigpen has done musicals, television, film, stage, and radio. During her 30-year career, she has appeared in nearly 40 featured movies and a bunch of television series. Grown adults love her, and children all around the world love her for all the children roles she has done. So let's get into her story, right? Now, Lynn Thigpen was born on December 22nd, 1948 in Joliet, Illinois. She was one of three daughters from her parents. And growing up as a child, she stated that she didn't have a passion of being an actress then. She was just like any other little kid. She loved drawing and doing things like that. But by the time she got to high school, though, she started to get into the acting and a lot of other things like that. She joined the theater club, the debate club, a cappella club, and, the list goes on. Because, see, the person that really gave her the confidence was her English teacher, who would tell her that she can do anything and be anything in this world if she just put her mind to it. Now, another talent she had was singing. She can sing too, y'all. She has a great singing voice, beautiful singing voice. So, after graduating high school, she went to the University of Illinois, where she majored in English and speech, and she became a high school English teacher. But at that same time she was teaching, she also was studying theater and dance, and she ended up getting an acting scholarship at the University of Illinois. And after only one semester, she decided to give acting a shot as a career. And around 1971, she ended up moving to New York to pursue acting. And, to support herself while she was in New York, she ended up working at a restaurant, waiting tables while trying to land a job as an actress. And after 3 months of just being in New York, her big break came when she landed her first role in the play called Godspell, in which she was also in the movie Godspell too. But after 2 years of doing that Godspell, she decided just to leave that alone, because she didn't want to be known just doing that play Godspell. So she decided to leave because she wanted to do other things. After that, she started to land more acting gigs in she got plays like The Magic Show, The Night That Made America Famous, and another play called Working. In 1979, she landed that role as the DJ in the classic movie called Warriors. I know y'all remember that movie, Warriors. And look, that same year, she was in a play called But Never Jam Today. Now, the following year, she was in a Broadway play called Tintypes, in which she received a Tony nomination for her role. And once she got that Tony nomination, that's when Hollywood would recognize her. And she started to get a lot of calls for roles after she got that Tony nomination. She also stopped singing and started to really take acting serious once she got that Tony nomination. And in 1982, she appeared in a movie called Tootsie. Tootsie made over $240 million in the box office. That was a big movie. In 1985, she did 3 episodes of the show called Give Me a Break as Nell Carter's sister. I remember watching that too. I was just watching Give Me a Break the other day on Tubi. You know what? Rest in peace to Nell Carter. Now, in 1987, she did 2 episodes of the show called The Equalizer, and she was nominated for a Los Angeles Drama Critics Award for her role in the Broadway play called Fences. In 1989, she made an appearance on the shows Frank's Place and Roseanne, but that same year she played Leona Barrett in the classic movie called Lean on Me. My favorite, man, one of my favorite movies of all time. That's where I really remember her from, because I have probably seen that movie about 100 times, Mrs. Barrett. That's what I really remember her from, the movie Lean on Me. But also that same year, in 1989, she had a lead role on the NBC show called FM as Naomi Sayers with James Avery. James Avery was on that show too. You know, we all know James Avery, Uncle Phil on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But you know, that show FM, it only lasted one season due to low ratings, because it came on right after the show Cheers. And Cheers, that was a big show at that time. Now, in 1991, she appeared on 2 episodes of The Cosby Show, but then she landed her biggest role ever, in my opinion, which is the Chief on the PBS children's television game show called Where in the World is Carmen San Diego? Who remember that? Where in the world is Carmen San Diego? Look, she said at first she wasn't interested in doing a children's show or a game show, but when she got the role on that show and they let her create the role of Chief from scratch, she loved it. And when the show became a big hit, she said every time, you know, some kids saw her after they was getting out of school or whatever, they would see her and they would yell Chief to her and try to challenge her. So she loved the show. But you know, being on that show, Where in the World is Carmen San Diego, right? That show earned her 3 nominations for a Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Performer in a Children's Series. Now, that same year, in 1991, she did 10 episodes on an NBC show called LA Law. After that, in 1992, she won the Obie Award for her role in the South African play called Bozeman and Lena. In 1993, she had a recurring role on a soap opera called All My Children. You know, she played Auntie Grace Kiefer. And look, she played that role all the way to the year 2000. And she appeared in the NBC police show called Law and Order. In 1994, she played the grandma in the movie called Blank Man. Damon Wayans, David Allen Greer, and Robin Givens. Man, I love Blank Man. That's a funny movie. That's my junk right there. You know, she got in that movie, she got killed in that movie. And I just remember when Blank Man was crying funny at the funeral. But the song that was playing in the background called Can't Go On was playing. Man, that was a beautiful song. That song was done by Silk. Remember the R&B group Silk? And the original version is the group called Commission. But that's a great movie, Blank Man. It's a beautiful song right there too. Now, in 1995, she was named Associate Artistic Director of the Circle Repertory Company in New York City. But a few months later, she decided not to take the job because she felt it would take too much time and effort away from her acting. Now, in 1997, she did the voice of Luna, the talking moon, on a kids show called Bear in the Big Blue House. And that same year, she won the Tony Award for Best Featured Actress in a Play, which was called An American Daughter. Plus, she was nominated for an NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Actress in a Daytime Drama Series for her role on a soap opera called All My Children. In 1999, she landed a role in the movie called The Insider with Al Pacino and Russell Crowe. And she also landed a role in a movie titled Bicentennial Man, and she played the president in that movie. In 2000, she had a lead role in the CBS crime drama called The District as Ella Mae Farmer, which is set in Washington, D.C. And you know what's crazy is, even though that show, The District, was very successful, they say Lynn would still pull up to the set in a beat up old rental car. That's how down to earth she was. She wasn't about that material stuff. And look, she also was in the Shaft movie starring Samuel L. Jackson, and she won another Obie Award for the stage play called Jar the Floor. But on March 12th, 2003, y'all, Lynn died, man. She died from a cerebral hemorrhage in her brain, which led to her having a heart attack. Now, they say for several days, she had been complaining about a headache. She had having a lot of headaches. And, next thing you know, she was found unconscious by her friend at home in her Los Angeles home. And, she just passed away, man. Wow. That's sad, man. Now, at the time of her death, she was on a show called The District, the CBS show The District. And according to the District show executive producer, they said that Lynn had gone and got an MRI the day before because, she had a bad headache. And she said Lynn came back to the show and she was fine. Then they just got a telephone call that she had passed away. Wow, that's crazy. Now, the coroner's autopsy came back and they found acute cardiac dysfunction, non-traumatic, systemic, and spontaneous intraventricular hemorrhage and hemorrhage in the brain. People that was close to her say she was in good health. She was in good health. She was in the middle of shooting the third season of the show The District when she passed. So you know how most shows do when people leave the show or whatever. They try to kill them off or whatever, but this was different. The way she died in real life, it was different. So the producers wanted her to die off the show the way she died in real life. They wanted to let the audience experience what they experienced, which was total shock and just hurt when she passed. And on that scene in The District, when they did the scene in The District, the people were crying for real. That was real tears, y'all. It's sad, man. All the fans of that show, they took it real hard. That episode, it's on YouTube. It's very emotional because she really passed away in real life, and the way they did it, it's crazy. Check it out when you get a chance. It's sad, man. If you're a fan of The District show, you know what I mean. She also starred in the movie Anger Management with Adam Sandler and Jack Nicholson too. She played the judge Brenda Daniels, but they did dedicate the movie to her in a memory because that's the last movie she had done. That's the last movie she done. And Lynn, she never married or had any children. In an interview, she stated that she had no desire to have those titles in her life, the same as having to carry along the commitments that came with them. In 2005, her agent, named Roseanne Gates, had started the Lynn Thigpen Bobo Lewis Foundation, which is a nonprofit foundation to help actors, writers, and directors. And she also got a elementary school named after her in her hometown in Joliet, Illinois. That's great they did that. Wow. Man, she was 54 years old, y'all. 54 years old. Rest in peace, Lynn Thigpen.